staying on the topic of Donovan Mitchell, let's keep it here because right now Utah currently sits number one in the West, man. Um, they're blowing teams out. Like they're beating 500 teams at a really really good rate. They're winning games, and as the best player on the best team, let me just say that right out the gate because I know there was some guys gonna come talk to me about Gobert. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. If you can't put the ball in the bucket, you can't be the best player on the team. I'm sorry. That's the way I'm done with those talks. He's the best player on the best team in the NBA right now. He
You're
deserves to be in
auditioning
the
for
MVP
TNTLR.
conversation.
I hear that.
Yeah, man. Talking about man.
Shout out to
He's the
Colin
best player on the
Sexton, the
best
best
team.
player on the Mavs. No, the best player on the Cavs.
But think about it
Nah,
though.
he's
If you're
definitely
really
the best
thinking
player on
about
the
it, he's the
Cavs.
best player on the
I'm
best team in
taking
the
Jared
NBA
Allen
in his own
still.
right.
All right, fair.
You know what I'm saying?
You're saying
I don't know.
is that what this argument we're starting with?
What?
Is he the best player on his team?
Isn't that a given? Like, yo, what are we talking
It's
about
not
at
a
this
given.
point?
Not a
It's a given,
I'm not
man.
saying you're wrong. It's just not a given.
It
That's
has to be a given.
that's
The thing about it is, like, as much as people want, we've had this conversation numerous times. As much as people want to give credit to Gobert, and I'm not taking anything away from what Gobert does, but if you can't put the ball in the bucket, how can you be the best player on the team? Because without you, we're probably still in the same conversation in terms of like maybe not on
They were winning
overall
games without
season record.
Donovan Mitchell too.
yo. All right,
It's not the same though.
here's
They
what I
were
want to
winning
ask you.
games without Donovan Mitchell too.
Hold on.
They were winning games without Donovan Mitchell too, though.
Yo,
It's not the
the
same.
Utah Jazz have been good for a very long time. The one constant in that winning is Rudy Gobert. Man, I remember when they booted Ennis Canner out of here and started that man, they made the playoffs. Since then, they have not missed the playoffs. That predates Donovan Mitchell going back to Gordon Hayward. That's all I'm saying. One man can't be the constant, and every time we talk about them, we discount and move like he's not doing that. He's
I'm not
setting
discounting it.
screens. He scores. He doesn't score at a high level, but he scores. He's inefficient. And when man's going the rim, they're shooting air balls when he's not even jumping because they're scared of him. You can't even quantify that more times. The stats show it though, and the defensive player of the year show it. So it is what it is.
I'm
But
not, and everything you said, Kev, is perfectly fine.
I
But
still
the
leave it at
problem
that.
is that one man is out there putting up 24 a game. Like, come
Gotta add
on,
some
man.
foolish sauce
Yo,
to.
honestly, 24 is nice, but let's not move like he's backpacking on.
Especially in this NBA,
Yeah, like
in this
come on, man.
environment.
But again,
He's not even doing it like with uber efficiency either. Like
He's nice.
He's
Don't
nice.
get me wrong.
But he's
nice.
the best player on the
He's
team,
nice.
man. Come on, man. Let's give flowers where they're due, man. So you're telling me that Gobert?
fam, he's at 43% from the field. You know.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying the numbers are stellar. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the numbers are jump out the wall. I'm
Like,
just
nah,
saying he's the best
this
player on
isn't
the
the
team.
year. This isn't the year the champion Donovan Mitchell being the best player. Still, they
Oh,
it's
I'm
just
not. I'm
not.
not saying. Let me make myself very clear. I'm not saying that Donovan Mitchell deserves to be the front runner of the MVP conversation by any means, because I'm not wild in that take. But what I am saying is that of every year that we've ever had basketball, the best player on the best team has always been in the conversation. Whether he's fifth, sixth, seventh in the race, he's always been or afforded the opportunity to at least have his name mentioned. And the fact that Donovan Mitchell's name is not even in the conversation whatsoever, that to me is a problem because he's the best player on the best team. I'm
Because we
not gonna
don't
say
know if
top
he's the
three.
best player on the team. That's why he's not in the
Nah,
conversation. What do
but
you
Chris, with
mean?
that said, man's know they're not giving Gobert no MVPs.
Exactly. But
So
the fact
if you
that
pick
go ahead.
if you pick Mitchell to be the guy, like I hear that, because a man like D Rose won the MVP off similar numbers. Let's keep it a buck. So
Yeah, but that was a different climate, fam.
I
Like,
understand it's different, but I'm not saying he's supposed to win. I agree with Rob though. He should be in some type of discussion.
nah, he shouldn't be. To me, he shouldn't be because it's super simple. Like, if his numbers were like spectacular, he would be, but they're not. They're. He's a great scorer. That's it.
But isn't
Like,
that what you want from your shooting guard? Or am I wrong?
fam, but he's not even doing what he does best at an elite level. Like, there's plenty of other mans doing what he's doing better than what he's doing. That's the problem. And then you have a man on your team where I'm saying, I don't know if you're the best player on your team. That disqualifies you. That's a two strikes right
Yeah,
there. You're
how
gone.
much does Gobert average? You can't tell me a man averaging 15 points is the best player on the team. I can't hear
I
that.
can
When has that ever been
if
the
he's
case?
if he has been the best defensive player over the past 4 years, on average, the best defensive player in the league, then I'm gonna say, I yes, he's not yes, he's not out there grabbing 20 points a game. If he was getting 20 points a game, he would be a lockdown MVP for sure with
Bro,
this
I'm still
numbers.
like he's Ben
But
Wallace.
like he's not Ben Wallace. He's not going out there averaging 8 points a night.
I'm not saying that he is, but I'm just saying I know what he is.
And I know what Mitchell is, and
You're a
what
great
Mitchell is not an MVP.
a
That's the
bucket
point.
getter, man, and we're in the business of buckets. This is what we do it for. What are we talking about here? We're here to put the ball in the bucket to get the dub. One man does it at 24 a game. One man's doing it at what 15, which is cool because of the defensive impact. But let's not act. Okay, I'm gonna make a wild take. I
At
understand
least you know
Gobert's
it's
great on
wild.
defense. No, it's gonna be wild because it's gonna sound wild. But if you really look at it, it makes sense. Gobert is a great defender, but I still have to attribute some of the team's defense to the surrounding parties. Like I'm not gonna say that their defense is solely hinged on him. One, it is largely, but come
I
on,
just
man.
gave man's the maths. So this team became good when Gobert touched the starting line.
So yo, who's the
Pre-Mitchell,
defensive
post
stopper?
You don't always need a defensive stopper. They have a great collective
So
unit. They have a great collective unit. They have a great collective unit. They have a great collective unit. Every man in the starting lineup, for the most part, has a history of being an above average defender.
Bogdan alive?
what a history where?
What do you mean?
Bogdan where
What do
when
you mean
Bogdan
history
was on the
where?
Wizards, he was locking up.
No, I'm saying since he came to Utah, he's been playing great
Oh,
defense.
since he
Chris
came
McNeil's
to
a defender.
Utah, eh? I hear that.
Mike
I
Conley's
hear that.
an all defensive
I hear
player.
that.
Back in the past, Donovan Mitchell was
Ha,
coming out the
is
draft
has
as a
he
defender.
has Conley been in all defense?
Yes,
I'm gonna have to fact check you right now. Still,
I saw Conley even
Can,
led the league in steals one time, if I'm not mistaken.
carry
Fact
on,
check me
Yeah,
on
fam.
that.
I'm gonna fact check
2012,
Curious
you right
all
now.
2013. 2012, 2013, all defensive stuff.
Fam,
Oh, the
so I'm
same
saying
year
they have
Marc
players
Gasol
that.
won. The same year Marc
I don't
Gasol won
know.
Defensive Player of the Year.
I don't know.
No, Mark
Mhm.
won it in 2013.
All I'm saying is that they have players surrounding him that obviously aid to the defense of the team. And I'm not going to say that he's not the focal point because obviously he is. I'm just saying that there's more factors considered. There's more factors included in that defensive rating or defensive unit than just Gobert as the hinge point.
This is super
Whereas
easy to look at though. Like if we looked at the on off of Gobert, that's super easy to see how the team is faring when he's on and off the court. That's like on the second half, I'll mention it. I'll find it and then I'll just mention it in the second half, and we'll see how much defenders they have when Gobert isn't out there because they have a great backup in Favors, so the numbers really shouldn't dip that much.
his favors a great backup.
Yes.
It's as good as you're gonna get when it comes to
Backup?
defending. What are you talking about?
I never really rated that.
That's as good as you're gonna get as a backup. That's as good as you're gonna get.
That's actually a man that started for like 8 years in this league still.
Yeah, and he had a broke leg for 3 years. So I'm like, let's not act like Favors has been good for a while now. Like it's been he's been kind of lost for a minute now.
Name
But
me a better
anyways, let me
backup.
just sum my point. My point is
That's what I
that
thought.
Donovan Mitchell deserves to be in the conversation because at the end of the day, he needs that. It is what it is, man. You guys are you? So you're saying that you guys are agreeing that he doesn't deserve to be in the conversation?
No, I think he deserves
I
to be in
am.
there.
I just don't see how. Give credit where flowers are due, man. And the thing about it, I think the reason why he's not in the race right now is because we always know that the history of the story of the MVP requires a narrative. Like they want a story. So like if Donovan Mitchell was averaging like 17 last year and rose to 24, then maybe they'll be able to craft something up. But he's not gonna get the credit just because there's no narrative to it. There's nothing special about what's going on to the storyline of Utah right now. Outside of they're just playing well. So it's gonna be hard for him to eclipse guys like Jokic, Embiid, even Kawhi to that extent. Obviously, LeBron. It's not gonna happen still. But I think he deserves to be on the lower end of that list. To be honest. Yeah.